What is one of the hardest things to endure, super or not? Pregnancy. It's a physical and mental process that takes a toll on your body, your mind, your spirit. It's a journey, and those that choose to raise children are some of the bravest I know, be they in the real world or in comics. Many mothers and fathers around the world are basically performing real-world heroics on a daily basis. I know my parents were, and honestly, even though I'm pretty much grown up, they still are. Today we'd like to pay homage to some of these real-world heroes as we count down the top 10 pregnant superheroes who can't die. Meaning we'll be looking at some of the most indestructible superheroes who bared children and impressed us with their mental, emotional, and or physical strength in the process. These are heroes who can't be stopped or put down and always seem to bounce back from whatever we throw at them. If you have a parental figure in your life, be they biological or not, that is your own real-world superhero, be sure to show them some respect by giving this list a thumbs up. And be sure to stick around till the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. Harley Quinn. I would argue at this point in the comics Harley is more hero than villain. After being separated from the Joker for quite a while, she spends most of her time hanging out with Poison Ivy and working with the Suicide Squad while occasionally going on her own adventures, which usually showcase her in a heroic light. She was pregnant once too, though not many may know this. During a fight with Black Canary, Harley offers to take a break when she realizes Black Canary is not feeling well because she is pregnant. Harley then confesses that she once was also pregnant so she can empathize. What made her and her pregnancy so untouchable? The fact that it apparently happened off panel, we never really saw it. Harley confesses that she took some time away from the Joker while pregnant to give birth, and that her daughter has been convinced that Harley is not her mother, but in fact her aunt, for her own protection. And I mean, death doesn't usually come to heroes or villains while they're off panel, because you know, we kinda wanna read that. Meaning that she would have been untouchable at the time of her pregnancy, because we never saw it, it happened off panel. And despite being absent and deranged, Harley actually sounds like a pretty decent mom, so she deserves a spot. Number 9. Siren. The daughter of Banshee, Teresa became pregnant after sleeping with Jamie Madrox, her boyfriend at the time, known as Multiple Man. Turns out that Multiple Man was using his ability to create a duplicate of himself so he could maintain a relationship with both Siren and Monet at the time. He later confessed this, pissing off, well, both women, but especially Siren, who was pregnant. She ended up keeping the baby and even asked Jamie to marry her when she went into labor. He accepted and their son Sean was born. The only problem was that it turned out that Siren had slept with a duplicate of Madrox, meaning that when Jamie held Sean in his arms for the first time, the baby was absorbed back into him as a product of his duplicate. Siren was understandably pissed, you know, she'd carried that baby for like 9 months. And while she has never died, Jamie should have been very afraid of meeting his maker after causing Siren so much grief. Fortunately, she did not choose to end him, but she did break his fingers and threatened to break his neck if they ever met again. Number 8. Angel Salvador. While Angel's pregnancy was unexpected and kinda weird, it has to be said that there was likely no harming this mother-to-be. Angel and her classmate Beak found themselves pregnant after a dared kiss grew into a romance between the two young mutants. Still students at Charles Xavier's Institute, they feared they would be expelled for this unplanned pregnancy. Surprisingly, they were not, but actually found themselves fully supported instead. With all of the mutant community supporting and protecting them, Angel and her children would therefore be untouchable. While she would turn evil momentarily under the guidance of Zorn, who revealed himself to be Magneto, her lover Beak would lead her and the other members of the special class to rise up against Magneto, turning them back into heroes who helped to win the day. Angel still thrives in the comics. She's still alive and she still thrives. Number 7. Jessica Jones. Jessica became pregnant with Luke Cage's baby after one of their passionate and casual hookups. While Luke and Jess were more of a casual thing, Jessica ended up dating Scott Lang, aka Ant-Man, in a more serious capacity. She discovered she was pregnant and told Scott, confessing that the baby wasn't his. It turned out that of course it was Luke Cage's baby, which she in turn told to him. Luke confessed that he cared for Jess and asked her what she wanted to do. She told him she wanted to keep it, and he supported her and suggested that they move in together. Thus began one of the most famous and cutest comic book romances. Jessica's pregnancy appeared pretty routine, and she spent most of it working at the Daily Bugle. After their daughter Danielle was born, she felt inspired to return to a life of heroics. And while many may not think of Jessica as being quite as indestructible as some of her fellow superhero counterparts, including her husband Luke Cage, she has never died in the comics. And while her pregnancy was relatively uncomplicated, her life has been anything but. It has been filled with emotional trauma, from the loss of her parents, to being mind controlled by Kilgrave, to fearing that Danielle actually might be the Purple Man's baby, conceived from rape. Jessica is definitely a hero who is invincible in more than just the physical sense. So she deserves a place here. She definitely deserves her place. Number 6. Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman has actually survived 2 challenging births, and for that she deserves some props. It's amazing that she actually didn't die during either of them, and that her children also managed to survive. Although granted, the first time around, Valeria did not, so really actually she's had 3 challenging births, I guess. Valeria was originally born after Franklin, but due to complications and radiation that the unborn baby was emitting, ended up being a stillborn. However, Franklin weirdly saved the day when it was later revealed that he had saved his unborn sister using his powers, allowing her to be raised in an alternate timeline. But then this all got reset due to some timey-wimey stuff, and Valeria ended up as an unborn child again in her mother's womb, meaning Sue now had to relive the pain of giving birth to Valeria all over again. Miraculously, and with the help of Dr. Doom, she survived once again, and so did Valeria this time, despite all of the crazy radiation, whom Dr. Doom named after his first love. And in a weird twist, Victor also ended up joining the family, becoming Valeria's godfather and gloating that he was better than Reed, as he succeeded where he could not. Sue has been through so many difficult pregnancies that she definitely deserves a Medal of Invincibility for being near death during childbirth so many times. Whew, what a tank. Also, maybe let's not make her have any more kids. Seems like a lot of work. Number 5. Power Girl. Honestly, if Kara could survive this insane pregnancy story, she could survive probably just about anything, surely. Power Girl immaculately conceived and had a baby and went to great lengths to protect it. She had kissed Hal Jordan and had a brief romantic moment with Aquaman previous to her conception, so originally we thought that they might be the father, but it was later revealed that she hadn't slept with anyone, so there apparently was no father. This was during the retcon that made Power Girl a descendant of Atlantis, making her a proud Atlantean like Aquaman. She discovered this by meeting part of her grandfather sort of in spirit form, who told her that, well, she was Atlantean, and of course she believed him, getting a hug and then getting zapped a memento on her belt to remind her of her heritage. For her grandfather was like, bye, see you later. And after her baby is born, we find out that during this moment with her grandfather's sort of ghost, she was apparently impregnated. Her grandfather is actually still around, and he explains this to her when her baby, after being born, magically takes her to see him. But he also has no idea why or how it really happened. Power Girl is obviously pissed, but she gets over it and raises the baby, which she oddly just refuses to name. The baby grows up at an accelerated rate and leaves her. She runs into him when he is a man, still calling him baby oddly enough, and learns from a demon that the baby is actually his magical baby, part demon, part Atlantean, created by her grandfather in her womb using both sets of genes, I guess unbeknownst to her grandfather, destined to become Atlantis' champion. Her man baby defeats the demon, getting power from his mother, names himself Equinox, and is basically never heard from again. Power Girl survives this whole ordeal with her psyche somehow still intact, when most people would surely die just from the trauma of this incident. And now you know a crazy story. You're welcome. Number 4. Scarlet Witch. Despite the fact that Wanda ended up with the synthezoid being Vision, who while resembling a human is not one and therefore can't really reproduce, Wanda still managed to get herself pregnant and bear 2 twin children. How did she do this? With a bit of magic and sheer willpower. Well, mostly willpower to be honest, as it was later revealed that the babies she had given birth to were simply constructs of her subconscious. Despite the fact that others deemed them not real children, this didn't stop Wanda for very much believing in their existence and fighting to prove that they were real. There was nothing she wouldn't have done for them, until it was revealed that they had actually come from magical energy belonging to Mephisto, and were reabsorbed by him. With her chaos magic and reality altering abilities, Scarlet Witch is a hero who has never really been forced to face the Grim Reaper. Despite losing her children, they would eventually return to her, somehow reincarnated, and inspire her to seek to return the powers of those who had lost their powers after the events of M-Day and Decimation, and inspire her to return the superpowers to those who had lost them after the events of M-Day and Decimation. Number 3. Jean Grey. You might be thinking, but have we ever seen Jean pregnant? Well, no, not really. But she has so many alternate reality kids and is so invincible I couldn't not mention her. Sadly, because a lot of her children come from alternate realities, I don't have any awesome stories of her being a badass mom. Mostly, to be honest, a lot of her alternate reality kids just seem to pop up every now and then, surprise her and Scott, and then just let them know that they were actually the worst future parents. However, I will say that she has an army of unstoppable alternate children at her back, despite the fact that they apparently certainly didn't agree with her parenting. Rachel Summers herself made sure that there were people there to keep watch over her parents and protect them. So even if we're ignoring the fact that Jean has been resurrected enough times that her death can never really be permanent, and the fact that she can exist purely as psychic energy, she also has her kids, some of whom are even more powerful than her or Scott Summers, to safeguard her from her death as well. So basically, she'll never really die. I mean, she'll die, but she won't die, you know what I mean? Number 2. Spider-Woman. With one of the strongest endurances around, Jessica Drew is an all-around force to be reckoned with as a new mom and as a pregnant woman. She continued to fight crime and villains right up until giving birth, and even immediately after giving birth. During her time visiting an alien maternity ward that Carol Danvers had recommended to her good friend Jess, it was invaded by Skrulls. Jessica didn't hesitate to fight back despite being very hesitant. She had to take a break to give birth, having an emergency C-section, and then she just got right back into the fray, defeating the Skrulls just as Captain Marvel arrived to help, but discovered that she apparently didn't need to help as Jessica had handled it. Granted, she did kind of need to help Spider-Woman after, who then collapsed from, well, I mean, likely reopening some of her surgical wounds whilst fighting, so. Still, the fact that Jessica survived that entire experience and commits so heartily to being a mom goes to show that she doesn't plan on dying anytime soon. And honestly, her separation anxiety from her newborn simply wouldn't allow it. She's just gotta be there for that little bean. Number 1. Wonder Woman. The most remembered and perhaps celebrated time that Wonder Woman had a child in the comics was in the alternate universe of the Kingdom Come series. Wonder Woman is one of the most undefeatable heroes, period. Sure, she may have had a death here or there in the comics, but I'm more looking at heroes who have never permanently died on this list, and Wonder Woman definitely falls into this category as she always lives again. Her immortality lies in popularity, which means as a comic book icon she can never really die. The thing I really love about her as a mom in Kingdom Come is how her and Clark, who hook up and create little baby Jonathan, decide to also welcome Batman into their parenting circle. Bruce ends up helping to raise Jonathan as well, and the three make an insanely strong parenting unit. I mean, who wouldn't want Superman as dad, Wonder Woman as mom, and Batman as like a surrogate bonus dad? No wonder their son grows up to be so strong. Thanks for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you found this list both informative and inspiring. I felt pretty inspired writing it, to be honest. So many strong women in comics who just do all the things. Did you also know that Gal Gadot was even pregnant herself during the filming of Wonder Woman? Yeah, that's impressive. And she was also pregnant with a daughter, no less. How cool is that? How do you feel about the depiction of pregnancy in the comics? Which superhero do you think showed the most resilience during their pregnancy? Who are some of your favorite pregnant superheroes? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to comment below as well for a chance to have your words featured in a future list. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you as always to stay nerdy, YouTube, and inspire her to return those powers lost to superheroes I don't know how to say this. Thank God I said that. Okay. Anyways.